Revenge might feel sweet in the moment, but let's be honest, it's not enough. Not for you. Not for someone with your fire, your potential, your drive. You don't just want to get even, you want to become the thing they'll never stop regretting. You want to transform their whispers of doubt into echoes of regret that haunt them long after you've moved on. This isn't just a pep talk. This is your battle cry, your awakening. The moment you stop chasing revenge and start building a life so powerful, so undeniable, that it silences every doubt, every critic, every enemy. This is your reckoning. The moment when you stop letting their betrayal define you and start letting it fuel you. Because this isn't about them anymore, it's about you. You felt it, haven't you? The sting of their words, the weight of their actions, the ache of wanting to prove them wrong. Maybe they told you that you weren't enough. Maybe they left you when you needed them most. Maybe they doubted you, pushed you aside, laughed at your dreams. And it cut deep, didn't it? It left a mark, a wound that refuses to heal, that reminds you every day of what they did. But this isn't just about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be, the person they'll regret doubting, betraying, underestimating. Because revenge is fleeting, but transformation is forever. Let's talk about that. The difference between getting even and rising above. Because revenge, as satisfying as it might seem in the moment, is temporary. It's shallow. It's a single moment of satisfaction that doesn't change anything. It doesn't heal the wound. It doesn't erase the pain. And it certainly doesn't help you become the person you were meant to be. But becoming their regret, that's something else entirely. That's about taking the pain they caused you and using it as fuel to build something unstoppable. That's about transforming yourself into a force so undeniable, so unbreakable, that their actions toward you become the biggest mistake they ever made. This is the path forward. Not revenge, but transformation. Not spite, but success. Because the truth is, you don't need to tear them down, you need to build yourself up. You need to take every ounce of pain, every moment of doubt, every scar they left you with, and turn it into something so powerful that it drowns out everything they've ever said or done. It's time to stop looking back, to stop wasting your energy on trying to hurt them the way they hurt you. Because the best revenge isn't revenge at all, it's becoming someone they can't touch, someone they can't reach, someone who has risen so far beyond their doubts and betrayals that they're left standing in the ruins of their own choices, wishing they had seen your worth when they had the chance. You've felt it, haven't you? That pull, that drive, that hunger to prove something not just to them but to yourself. You've been carrying it with you, letting it simmer just beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to unleash it. Well, this is that moment. This is the moment you take that hunger, that pain, that fire, and you use it to build something extraordinary. This is the moment you decide that their actions, their words, their doubts don't define you, they fuel you. Because here's the truth, their betrayal wasn't your end. It was your beginning. Their doubt wasn't your failure. It was your catalyst. And their regret, that's not something you chase, it's something you become. So let this be your wake-up call, your turning point. The moment you stop wasting your energy on trying to get even and start using it to build a life that leaves them speechless. A life that makes them look back and realize they were wrong about everything. This is your story, your fight, your transformation. And it starts now. You've been hurt. Let's start there. Let's name it for what it is. Someone pushed you aside, made you feel small, told you in words or actions that you weren't enough. Maybe they doubted your dreams, dismissed your worth, betrayed your trust. And that pain, you've carried it with you, haven't you? Like a shadow that never leaves, no matter how fast or far you try to run. It's exhausting, isn't it? Carrying the weight of their actions. Replaying every insult, every betrayal, over and over again in your mind, like a film stuck on repeat. You've tried to move on, but those moments, the ones that cut the deepest, they have a way of staying with you. It feels like dragging a chain of broken promises behind you, doesn't it? Each link forged in disappointment and betrayal, every step forward weighed down by the heaviness of what they said, what they did, what they took from you. And no matter how hard you try, it feels like that chain just gets heavier. Rejection, betrayal, the pain of not being seen, of being dismissed, of having your worth questioned. It's universal, isn't it? We've all felt it in some form or another, and yet, when you're in the middle of it, it feels deeply personal. Like it's only happening to you. Like the world has singled you out to carry this burden alone. You've wanted to be seen, to be heard, to be valued. That's not asking for too much, is it? To feel like you matter, like your voice is worth something, like your existence isn't just an afterthought. But somewhere along the way, someone, maybe more than one someone, made you feel like you didn't. Like you were invisible. Like your worth was negotiable. And it's left you wrestling with feelings you don't always know what to do with. That ache inside you, that quiet, gnawing feeling of inadequacy. The voice that whispers, maybe they were right, you've carried it with you, haven't you? That desire to prove yourself, to prove them wrong, to show the world and maybe yourself that you're more than what they saw, more than what they thought, more than what they said. But let's talk about the villains for a moment. Because you have them, don't you? The ones who doubted you, who hurt you, who betrayed you. The ones who made you feel small and told you to stay there. They're the external villains in your story, the faces you see when you close your eyes, the voices you hear in your darkest moments. And yet, as much as we focus on them, they're not the only villains you're facing. There's another set of villains, ones that live inside you. The internal villains, the self-doubt that tells you you're not enough. The fear that paralyzes you, that convinces you it's safer to stay quiet, to stay small, to stay stuck. And then there's the anger, the simmering rage that threatens to consume you, that blinds you to anything but the desire to strike back. These villains, they're relentless, aren't they? The external ones hurt you, but the internal ones, they keep the wound open. They remind you, over and over again, of the pain, the betrayal, the rejection. And no matter how hard you try to push them away, they find their way back in. But here's the thing, those villains, both external and internal, only have as much power as you give them. The people who hurt you, who doubted you, they've moved on. They're living their lives, not thinking about the pain they caused. But you're still carrying it. You're still letting their actions dictate your story. And the internal villains, they're not truth tellers, they're liars. Self-doubt whispers lies about your worth. Fear spins stories about your limitations. Anger feeds you the illusion that striking back is the only way forward. You've been through it, rejection, betrayal, the pain of being overlooked. You felt the weight of trying to prove yourself, of wrestling with doubts that refuse to let go. And it's okay to feel that pain. It's okay to acknowledge it, to sit with it, to say, this hurt me. But it's not okay to let it define you. Because here's the truth, you're not the sum of their actions. You're not the product of their doubts, their betrayal, their rejection. You are more than the chain you've been dragging. You are more than the villains, external or internal, that have tried to hold you back. This pain you've carried, this weight you've borne, it's not your identity. It's your fuel. And when you finally let go of the chain, when you stop giving power to the villains, when you decide to rise, you'll see something extraordinary. The pain didn't break you. It built you. You've been hurt, yes, but you're still here. You've been pushed aside, yes, but you're still standing. You've been told you weren't enough, yes, but you're still fighting. And that's where your story begins. Yes, it hurts. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not pretend it doesn't feel like a wound that never quite heals. Yes, it's unfair. You didn't ask for these battles. You didn't sign up to be hurt, to be doubted, to be betrayed. And yes, you're tired. Tired of fighting battles you didn't choose. Tired of carrying pain you didn't deserve. Tired of trying to prove your worth to a world that sometimes seems blind to it. But let's be real about where you are right now. You're at a crossroads, standing in the middle of your pain, your anger, your disappointment. And it's tempting, isn't it? Tempting to stay there, to hold on to the hurt, to let the anger fester, because it feels like the only thing keeping you going. But here's the hard truth: if you stay here dwelling in anger, stuck in the pain, they win. Do you hear me? They win. Your villains, external and internal, they get exactly what they wanted. Your dreams wither, your potential fades, and they move on. They live their lives, unburdened by the pain they caused, while you're left behind, trapped in a cycle of anger and regret. Think about that. Every moment you spend stuck in this place is a moment you lose. A moment your power slips through your fingers. A moment your dreams grow colder, your potential dims, your life stalls. Do you really want that? Do you really want to give them that kind of power? Because that's what happens when you stay here. When you let the anger consume you, when you let the pain define you, when you let the betrayal take root and grow like a weed in your soul. Every day you let it fester is another day the chains tighten. Another day you lose a piece of yourself. Another day your crown gathers dust, waiting for a moment you may never claim. It's like standing in quicksand. The longer you stay still, the deeper you sink. At first you think you're holding your ground, but before you know it, you're buried, suffocated, unable to move. That's what stagnation does. That's what anger does. It convinces you that staying still is safer, but all it does is drag you down. And let's talk about anger for a moment, because it's seductive, isn't it? It feels powerful. It feels like fire in your veins, like a shield against the world. But anger is a double-edged sword. It can fuel you, yes, but it can also destroy you. If you're not careful, it turns inward, eating away at you from the inside out. You've felt it, haven't you? The way the anger starts as a spark, but grows into something darker, something heavier. The way it clouds your vision, blinds you to the possibilities ahead, traps you in the past. The way it isolates you, cutting you off from the people, the opportunities, the future that could heal you. And here's the thing about staying stuck in anger: it keeps you tied to them. To the people who hurt you, to the moments that broke you, to the villains who doubted you. It's like carrying them around with you, letting them live rent-free in your mind, your heart, your soul. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve one more second of your energy, one more ounce of your power. But if you stay here, that's exactly what you're giving them. You're letting them win. You're letting their actions, their words, their betrayal dictate your story. And that's not what you want, is it? Because deep down, you know the truth. You know that staying stuck in this place isn't just hurting you, it's holding you back. It's keeping you from the life you're meant to live, the person you're meant to become, the dreams you're meant to chase. So let me ask you this: how long are you going to let them control you? How long are you going to let the anger chain you down, the pain hold you back, the betrayal define you? How long are you going to stand in this quicksand, sinking deeper and deeper, while your crown waits, your dreams fade, your potential goes untapped? Because every day you stay here is a day you'll never get back. Every moment you spend stuck in the pain is a moment you could have spent rising, building, transforming. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to break free. This is your wake-up call. The moment you decide whether you're going to let the pain win or whether you're going to take the first step towards something greater. Because staying here, letting the anger fester, letting the pain define you, letting the betrayal control you, that's not power. That's surrender. That's surrender. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's unfair. Yes, you're tired, but you're still here. And that means you still have a choice. You can stay in the quicksand, or you can reach for something better. You can let the anger consume you, or you can let it fuel you. You can stay stuck in the pain, or you can use it as a stepping stone to rise. The choice is yours. But let me tell you this: you're capable of so much more than staying here. You're capable of rising, of building, of transforming. And the moment you choose to let go of the anger, the pain, the betrayal, is the moment you take the first step toward becoming something extraordinary. This isn't the end of your story. It's the turning point. The moment you decide to let go of the chains, to step out of the quicksand, to stop letting them win. The moment you start becoming their regret. Revenge might feel like power, but let's get one thing clear: true power lies in transformation. The kind of transformation that doesn't just get even, it transcends. You can't control what they've done. You can't rewrite the past or undo the damage, but you can control what you do next. You can take the pain, the betrayal, the anger, and turn it into something they'll never forget. Not because you struck back, but because you rose above. Your pain isn't a burden, it's fuel. It's the fire that will forge you into something stronger, sharper, more unstoppable than they ever imagined. Think about that for a moment. The very thing that feels like it's breaking you is the thing that will build you if you let it. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your ally. Picture a blacksmith standing over a piece of raw steel. The fire roars, the hammer strikes, and each blow transforms that steel into a weapon, a masterpiece, a force to be reckoned with. That steel, that's you. And the fire, the hammer, the pressure, that's your pain. It's not here to destroy you. It's here to shape you into something unbreakable. But I know what you're thinking. I'm not strong enough. That thought has crossed your mind more times than you care to admit, hasn't it? In those quiet moments, when the weight feels too heavy and the doubts grow too loud, you've questioned whether you have what it takes. So let's challenge that belief. Because if you weren't strong enough, you wouldn't still be here. Look at what you've already endured. The pain, the rejection, the betrayal, you survived it. And that's not weakness. That's power. Think about it. Every scar you carry is proof that the fire didn't win. Every battle you fought and survived is evidence of your resilience. You've been through hell, and yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still fighting. If that's not strength, I don't know what is. But it's not just about surviving. It's about transforming. It's about taking the pain they handed you and using it to build something extraordinary. Because what if the pain wasn't here to break you, but to prepare you? What if every insult, every betrayal, every moment of doubt was sharpening your edge, making you ready for something bigger, something greater, something they never saw coming? Ask yourself this: what if the fire was the forge? What if the betrayal was the catalyst? What if the rejection was the push you needed to step into your power? Because every great story starts with a challenge. Every hero's journey begins with adversity, and every transformation is born from a moment of pain. But transformation doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice, a decision to stop letting the pain control you and start using it to fuel you. It's the moment you say, enough doubting yourself, enough staying stuck in the anger, enough letting their actions dictate your story. You have agency. You have power. You have the ability to take control of your narrative and rewrite it on your terms. But it starts with a decision. A decision to stop focusing on what they did and start focusing on what you're going to do next. So what's it going to be? Are you going to stay in the fire, letting it burn you? Or are you going to let it forge you? Are you going to carry the weight of their betrayal? Or are you going to use it to build a foundation for something greater? You have the power to choose, to transform, to take every insult, every doubt, every moment of pain and turn it into the fuel that drives you forward. The fire isn't here to consume you, it's here to refine you. Because here's the truth, they might have hurt you, but they didn't break you. They might have doubted you, but they didn't define you. And now it's your turn to show them what you're made of. This is your moment. The moment you stop looking back and start moving forward. The moment you stop being defined by your pain and start being defined by your power. The moment you stop chasing revenge and start building a life so undeniable, so extraordinary, that it becomes their regret. You've endured the fire. Now let it transform you. Let it sharpen your edge, strengthen your resolve, and fuel your rise. Because the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's becoming someone they'll never forget. So ask yourself again, what if the pain wasn't here to break me, but to prepare me? What if every insult, every betrayal, every scar was a step towards something extraordinary? What if this fire wasn't the end of your story, but the beginning of your transformation? You are not your pain. You are not their doubt. You are not their betrayal. You are more. You are fire-forged, battle-tested, unbreakable. And the moment you decide to embrace that truth is the moment you become unstoppable. This is your transformation, your power, your rise. So take the pain, the doubt, the betrayal, and let it fuel you. Let it forge you. Let it make you the person they'll regret ever underestimating. You've been chasing revenge, haven't you? That burning desire to even the score, to make them feel the pain they caused you. It's consumed you, driven you, kept you awake at night. But here's the truth you need to hear, it's not about them. It never was. This isn't their story, it's yours. The anger, the hurt, the betrayal, they've kept you tethered to them. But you deserve better than to let their actions dictate your story. Revenge is fleeting. It might feel sweet in the moment, but it doesn't last. It doesn't heal the wound, it doesn't erase the pain, and it doesn't make you whole. Transformation, though. Transformation is forever. Let me say this as plainly as I can, you are not weak. Not for feeling the pain, not for carrying the scars, not for wanting revenge. But the time for chasing vengeance is over. The time for proving them wrong has passed. This is your awakening, your moment to realize that you are so much more than what they did to you. You are not defeated. Look at yourself. Look at everything you've endured. You've been hurt, yes. You've been knocked down, yes. But you're still here, still breathing, still fighting. And that's power. That's proof that no matter how many times life tried to break you, it couldn't. You are the storm they never saw coming. You are the force they underestimated, the fire they thought they extinguished. But they were wrong. Because this isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of your rise. Think about this revenge as small. It's finite. It's a single moment of satisfaction. But becoming the person they'll regret ever doubting, that's infinite. That's power. That's transformation. You don't need to tear them down, you need to build yourself up. You need to rise so far above their actions, their betrayal, their doubts, that they're left standing in the ruins of their own choices, wondering how they ever dared to doubt you. Let me tell you something about rebirth. It doesn't come easy. It comes through fire, through struggle, through moments when you think you can't take another step. But it's worth it. Because they thought they buried you, didn't they? They thought they could silence you, crush you, leave you in the ashes of their betrayal. But they didn't realize something crucial: you were a seed. And now you grow. Now you rise. Now you break through the dirt and the darkness and become something they can't ignore, can't touch, can't stop. They thought they buried you, but all they did was plant the foundation for your transformation. This is your moment. The time for anger is over. The time for action is now. Because it's not enough to prove them wrong, you need to prove yourself right. You need to build a life so extraordinary, so undeniable, that it speaks louder than any words ever could. You have the power to do this. You always have. It's been there all along, waiting for you to see it, to claim it, to use it. The pain you've carried, the scars you've borne, they're not weaknesses. They're not failures. They're the foundation of your strength, the blueprint of your resilience, the proof that you are unstoppable. So here's your call to action. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop wasting your energy on chasing revenge and start using it to build something extraordinary. Build the life they'll regret ever doubting. You become the person they'll never forget. Because when you do that, when you rise, when you transform, when you take every ounce of pain and turn it into power, you won't just win. You'll transcend. You'll become the storm they never saw coming, the force they'll never recover from, the regret they'll carry for the rest of their lives. This is your time, your story, your transformation. The time for revenge is over. The time to rise is now. Now grow, now rise, now build, and never look back. Stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop looking for permission to rise. The time to act is now, the time to build is now. Let your actions speak louder than their words. Let your transformation silence their doubts. Because every moment you wait, every second you hesitate, is a moment you lose, a moment you give to the people who tried to hold you back. You've carried the pain, haven't you? It's been with you every step of the way, weighing you down, whispering doubts into your ear. But now it's time to turn that pain into power. It's time to take control of your story and write the ending they never saw coming. Start here. Acknowledge what you've been through. Don't ignore it. Don't suppress it. Sit with it for a moment and say, this hurt me. This broke me. This tried to destroy me. You don't have to pretend it didn't happen. And you don't have to act like it didn't leave a mark. Because the truth is, the pain you've endured is part of your story, but it's not the whole story. Now, name your villains. Write them down. Call them out. The people who doubted you, betrayed you, hurt you. The voices that told you you weren't enough. But don't stop there. Name the internal villains, to the self-doubt, the fear, the anger that's been holding you back. And name them, because the first step to defeating them is acknowledging their existence. Drag them into the light where they can no longer hide. Once you see them for what they are, you can start to take away their power. Now that you know what you're fighting, decide what you're fighting for. What does your transformation look like? What's the life you want to build? The person you want to become? Set one bold, unstoppable goal. A goal that reflects your strength, your resilience, your power. A goal that defies the lies you've been told. If they said you couldn't, prove you can. If they said you weren't enough, prove you're more than enough. This goal isn't about them, it's about you. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. So be specific, be audacious, write it down, speak it out loud, let it become the guiding force that pulls you forward. This is where the real work begins. Transformation doesn't happen in your mind, it happens in your actions. You can dream all you want, but dreams without effort die in silence. Start small if you have to. Take one step, then another, then another. Momentum doesn't come from waiting, it comes from movement. And every action you take, no matter how small, is a declaration of your power. But don't stop there. Be relentless. Be unapologetic. Don't shrink yourself to fit someone else's expectations. Don't hold back because you're afraid of failing. This is your life, your story, your moment. Let your actions speak louder than their words. Let your work, your success, your transformation silence every doubt they ever had about you. Build a life so extraordinary that it drowns out the echoes of their betrayal. Take another look at your scars. Really look at them. They're not signs of weakness, they're proof of survival. They're battle marks, evidence of the wars you've fought and the storms you've weathered. Every trial you've faced, every struggle you've endured, has been a building block for your empire. The pain you've carried isn't just a burden, it's a resource. It's fuel for your fire. It's the foundation of your strength. Reframe the way you see your pain. It's not here to hold you back, it's here to push you forward. It's not here to break you, it's here to build you. Your scars aren't reminders of what you've lost, they're reminders of what you've overcome. They thought they'd broken you. They thought they could silence you, crush you, make you disappear. But all they did was ignite your fire. All they did was give you the fuel you needed to rise. Now rise, build, become their regret. Let them look back one day and realize their greatest mistake wasn't doubting you, it was underestimating you. Let them see the life you've built, the strength you've claimed, the person you've become, and feel the weight of what they lost. This is your story, your transformation, your time. Now go. Rise higher, burn brighter, build bolder, become the person they'll never stop regretting, and never, ever look back. Let's pause and take it all in. The pain, the fire, the battles, they were never meant to be your end. They were stepping stones, each one carving out the path to your transformation. Yes, the pain was real. It cut deep. But pain is temporary. Transformation is eternal. Revenge might have felt like the answer in the beginning. The sweet taste of evening the score, of making them feel what you felt. But here's the truth, revenge is fleeting. It's a moment that comes and goes, leaving you holding the same wounds, the same anger, the same emptiness, becoming their regret, though that's something else entirely. That's everlasting. That's undeniable. Imagine it for a moment. Picture yourself standing tall, unshakable, unstoppable. Behind you is the empire you've built, every brick laid with resilience, every cornerstone forged in strength. The whispers of their regret echo in the distance, but they no longer matter. Because what matters is you, the person you've become, the life you've created, the undeniable force they never saw coming. This is what transformation looks like. Not a fleeting moment of revenge, but a lasting legacy. The kind of life that silences every doubt, every critic, every enemy. The kind of strength that leaves them looking back, realizing they were wrong about everything. And this is your time, your transformation, your victory. It's waiting for you, just beyond the fire, just past the pain, on the other side of the doubts and fears you've carried. But you have to step into it. You have to stop chasing revenge and start chasing something greater. You have to rise, build, transform. The call to action is clear. Stop waiting, stop hesitating, start moving. Build a life so extraordinary, so powerful, that it doesn't just make them regret doubting you, it makes them realize they'll never recover from it. This is your story, your transformation, your time. They thought they'd broken you, but all they did was light your fire. Now, let that fire burn brighter. Let it fuel your rise. Let it carry you forward into a future they'll never stop regretting. You are stronger than the pain, greater than the betrayal, bigger than their doubts. Now go, rise higher, build stronger, become the person they'll never forget. This is your time, your victory, your transformation. Stop chasing revenge, become their greatest regret, and never, ever look back.